Hey, what is going on, Leos? Butch Tarot here. I am going to do a general read. I know they get a little specific, but we call it a general read anyway. Now, because it's a general read, it may not resonate with everyone. It is for your sun, moon, rising, and your Venus. For all you cross watchers, roles can be reversed. Always feel free to comment down below. We're still in Leo season. So happy birthday to all my Leos that's had a birthday since the last time we spoke. Or I spoke, I guess. I want to pull an oracle card. I've been pulling them at the beginning of the reads. I just got this new deck called Earth and Bone Oracle. Absolutely love it. I try to find one that was more me. The butterflies and flowery ones weren't my style. But anyway, let's pull an oracle card for you. Universe, give us a message for Leos. Rider, movement, quick decisions, progress. Sorry about the lighting. I got a new light and it's just not cooperating yet. I got to work with it a little bit more, I think. Anyway, with all that being said, let's get it. Universe, what message do we have for Leos for August 2025? What can we see for Leos? All right, Leos. So the first thing I see is I feel like this is an energy that I feel like you're familiar with. This may be someone that you were interested in that it didn't really play out. For others, this may be a relationship that you were involved with or still involved with that isn't going where you think it's going. Like it feels like there's something in the way. It feels like there's something stopping forward movement. Like everything about the connections is incredible. There's this incredible connection, but it's like, why isn't it moving forward? What's the hesitation? You know, I feel like this person, very, very hard to read, but their energy is very easy to read. You know what I mean? Like, you know, there's something going on here. You know, the reason why it's going the way it is I feel like this person is why it's not going the way it's supposed to go. And it's not for what you think. You know, there's some things this person hasn't been able to tell you. They've been putting in a lot of work to actually keep it from you. And like I said, the energy doesn't lie. People lie. Energy doesn't. And it's not necessarily this person is lying to you. I just feel like, I don't want to say, I mean, for some of you, maybe they are. But in general, I don't feel like this person is necessarily lying. I just feel like they're not telling the whole truth. You know, I feel like this person's holding back. We have the Eight of Swords, that self-imposed prison. I feel like just like you, this person, it got real. This connection got real. And that's when this person, I feel a lot of self-sabotaging energy here. Like they cut it, they cut you off. They build the wall up in the middle of all this. I mean, there's this incredible connection, and it started off incredible, and it continues to grow. They're the reason why it's not moving forward. I mean, I know you didn't need me to tell you that, but the devil. You know, I feel like there was an incredible, intense connection between the two of you. For some of you, like I said, may already be in a relationship. So, I mean, I feel like they already hit that physical point. And this person had some delusion that that's all it was going to be until it got to that point. And now it's like they can't stop thinking about you. And I know a lot of people say, well, what's bad about that? It's bad. What's bad about that is someone that sees the negative instead of the positive. You know, there's this internal struggle within this person. They're fighting. I mean, they want to be with you more than anything. More than anything. And that's what makes them afraid. They're afraid of getting hurt. And to be honest with you, I don't think they thought they could get hurt until they met you. Even the toughest people can be soft. And I feel like you hit a soft spot in this person that they thought they were guarding away. Like I said, and once you hit it, that self-imposed prison, it was almost like, remember them old castles and the gate comes crashing down, that metal gate? It's like you got too close and then bang. You know, like I said, self-destructive energy here with a tower. I mean, this person sees the potential in this connection, and that's why they're acting the way they're acting. And then again, it doesn't make any sense. I'm seeing it, I'm reading it, and it doesn't make any sense to me why people do this. But like I said, I mean, this is what they've been dreaming about. They've been waiting for you their whole life. And I know that sounds big, and you're like, oh, that's just being dramatic. No, it's not. They've been waiting for you their whole life. And that ship has finally come in. Everything they ever dreamed about. They didn't think it was real. They didn't think you were real. Then they met you, realized you were, and that scared the shit out of them. You know, we all go around, it's like the idea of like someone that's immortal, that can't die. You know, or they think they can. And then one day they get hurt. Like, you know what I mean? Like those people that never get hurt in their life. And they think that it can never happen to them. And then it does. And then it's like a wake-up call. You know, then you have to reevaluate your shit. But anyway, with this person, like I said, a lot of self-sabotaging, very defensive energy. Even though they see the potential, that's what scares them. They see someone that can hurt them. So they got defensive. And like I said, then that's when the self-sabotaging bullshit started. You know, with the moon card, letting their imagination get the best of them. Not seeing what's really in front of them. Not seeing this for what it really is. And that distance you may feel with this person is them being in their own head. With that hermit. You know, that Virgo energy. And like I said, I feel like this person's seeing the negative instead of the positive. I don't really know if this person's ever truly been loved. Or been in love. Until now. Because it is a lot of resistance for someone. Like, I don't usually see this type of resistance to love. Now, they know what they want. And like I said, I mean, they know that they know what they want. They know where they see this going. They know where they want it to go. And that's why we get that internal struggle. It's not because they don't want this. It's because they're finding it hard to believe in it. I mean, they see you as someone they can share their life with on a grand scale, on a long-term basis. You know, you caught them in a way they'd never been caught before. And they're seeing things in a completely different perspective with that hangman. And I feel like they couldn't tell you until now. You know, I feel like it took them time, but they had to learn not only to trust their feelings, but to trust this connection. And I feel like it is coming, and it's slower than maybe you would like, but it is coming. You know, it's like I said, that communication is coming, and I feel like with that communication, I mean, I see this happening slowly, but I do feel this person nurturing this. I do feel like this person giving to this, and I feel like the advice that we have here is to be patient. You know, with that Queen of Cups, it's patience, it's nurturing. It's like the mother. You know, the mother is the most patient and nurturing creature, and I don't mean that in an offensive way. I mean that in a very real way. Sometimes it takes patience, and I feel like with patience, you know, you're gonna get there with this person. A bit resistant, but like I said, I mean, they are coming around. They're just afraid. But I do see this moving forward, and I do see you getting what you want from this person. I do see you building that foundation. It's patience. And I know, like I said, a lot of people don't want to hear that word patience. But knowing that the patience will pay off, that should mean something. You know, sometimes we have patience for the wrong thing. With this, I feel like there's a genuine love that you share with this person. It's authentic and it's real. If it wasn't, it wouldn't scare them so much. Now, I do feel like there is a side of this person that kind of hides that, and you know, it comes out differently in different people. You know, I'm not afraid. You know, like this, that, and like I said, I mean, I feel like this person has a hard time admitting that they want this, because once they put it out there, it's out there, and then it can hurt them. I know that's a very confusing concept, but I see it a lot. I see people that are truly in love with someone else, and the last thing they want to do is tell them. You know? Like I said, I mean, this person's in their head. I feel like this person is, I mean, that self-sabotaging energy. I mean, I feel like this person is trying to push you away, but they don't want you to go away, if that makes sense. They don't want you to go away. They're doing what they think they should do, and that's all wrong. I'm not saying they're right. And I feel like they know that they're not right. That's why that's that internal struggle within them. This isn't easy for them. It feels like it's necessary, but it's really not. Like I said, but I do feel like this person coming around. I feel like this person, like I said, they may act like they don't want to be around you, but they keep finding reasons to be around you. And that may be a sign for some of you who this person is. Now with this person, we have Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. We have Capricorn and Virgo. We have Cancer, Pisces. We have Aquarius, some Libra. In a perfect world, we all know what's best for us. But I don't know about you, but we don't live in a perfect world. You know, I've seen people do the stupidest things to people they love the most. And not to sound like a broken record, but I've been there. I've been in a place where I grew up, and I never felt love, never felt truly loved. You know, so it's a foreign concept to me. Now, while I get older, I realized there was people that loved me. It's just they didn't show it. So it's like when you're a kid and you think these people are supposed to love you, and they don't show it, then they don't, right? So you grow up thinking nobody loved you, but in reality, they just have a hard time showing it, which doesn't make it a whole lot better. It does, to a point where it is nice to find out that there was people that loved you. Now, not everybody, but my grandmother, that's Edna. She was the most beautiful person inside that I've ever met. She wasn't a very loving person in the fact that she didn't say it all the time, and she didn't, but she showed it by, she was a Taurus. She was a foodie. She'd make you food. She'd always, you know what I mean? Like, she'd always have everything you wanted. Like, when she knew I was coming to visit, she'd always make my favorite food. And, when I wasn't feeling good, she'd make me soup. And, like, not the soup from a can, I mean scratch. And all those things I didn't pick up as a kid. I didn't pick up that was love. That was her way of showing love. And when you grow up that way, not knowing how to show love, it's a learning curve. And another part of it as well is, like, when you do get love from someone, you don't understand it. It feels uncomfortable because you don't know if there's a hidden agenda there. Like, when I first met Rose, I was completely attracted to her. Like, I didn't want to be, but I was. I couldn't help myself. But I didn't believe her when she told me she loved me. I couldn't believe it. And we rejected it. I rejected it. And I never told her I loved her, even though I knew it the moment I met her. It took me a long time to tell her. Now, it comes very easily. And that's one of the things that tarot really helped me with. It helped me get in touch with myself. I'm still not overly an emotional person, but I'm not afraid to show love. I'm not afraid to accept love, and I'm not afraid to explore. Like, there's things I need to work on. It's a reality. And the only way to work on things is knowing there's a problem. And over the years, I've learned how to deal with things, and I've learned how, I can blame it on toxic masculinity, growing up a certain way, but at some point you got to take evaluation of yourself, understand yourself, and know what works for you and what doesn't work for me. And refusing love or rejecting love doesn't work for me. I spent my whole life, my father has never told me he loved me. I tell my kids every day. So it's what you do with the information. But like I said, I didn't grow up in a loving family. My dad provided. We had a household. We had food. So he provided, but that was where it ended for him. So the point of the story is, sometimes we come from a place where it's foreign to us. And you wouldn't expect somebody to speak your language the first day. You know what I mean? Like, if I went to Japan, anybody there expecting me to speak Japanese the first day, they're going to have to be patient with me. So, sometimes we just don't speak the language. It doesn't mean we don't want to learn it. And that's the point I'm trying to get across. Just because we don't know it doesn't mean we don't want to. And I feel like this person wants to. But anyway, be good. Take care. Stay safe.